a cordyceps musical. I would watch that.
Oh, Hamilton who? What the fuck, for
The
real?
Rat King, just like with a finale, like an opera esque type deal. How great would that
Hello,
be?
my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my cordyceps gal. Oh my God. We have to do it. We have to do
Oh,
it.
please do a spin-off. Be like Stranger Things and just start doing the like theater versions of all this. It would be great.
Let's do this. You are listening to Fitz and Friends. This is the Fitz and Mo bonus show. We're going to be breaking down the latest episodes of HBO's Last of Us all throughout the season and next season as well. There'll be new episodes every Monday on Spotify and the YouTubes. I'm Fitz.
And I am Mo. Thank you for
So,
joining us.
let's just get into this. Mo, in one word, boil down tonight's episode.
It's three words. It's like escalation,
Mm.
suffocation, triangulation. It There were so many different moving parts, but it all worked so well together, and they hit every single beat of the game. If you took out all the gameplay and you just got these cutscenes, it lines up almost perfectly with this episode, and it was wonderful. Even with the little switches that they made up, still great.
To get like the hot take on the episode, this is the first time I saw Bella Ramsey's Ellie seem like a credible stone cold killer. I mean, that she seemed at various points, particularly with the stuff with Nora we'll be getting to later in the episode, she finally seemed like the Ellie we need to drive the episodes. Let's break this down. My God,
All right.
like this, I love this episode because last episode you and I had different takes on it. To me, it felt like overstuffed and overly paced. This episode took enough time to give all of the beats. And I got to tell you, from the jump, when they're like, not even rats, setting up the basement of the
Mm.
hospital, which is such a pivotal part in the game. How did you think of the reveal of that with Sergeant Park and Hanrahan?
You know what? It worked out great. I was more curious on when did this whole situation happen of bolting up the entire basement to where they
Mm.
are now, because it does seem like they've been festering in there for a minute. And by they, the soldiers that they had to leave behind because they discovered spores.
But this is the first time we've actually seen it in the show because, you know, if you guys who played the game out there, they have to wear gas masks all throughout these underground areas because spores only happen underground. And it was in the first game when Joel finally truly believed that Ellie was immune because she walked through a spore infested area.
I am currently playing the game right now. I actually passed a lot of this
Oh,
past
right on.
weekend, but I think it's messing with me playing the
Mm.
game and watching the episode because I'm thinking that we're way farther ahead, but I'm farther ahead in the game right now. So everything is starting to get really confusing as to what does everyone else know in the series versus like what do I know because I've played the game. I had totally thought that we had talked about spores in the first season, but maybe briefly, or am I totally off?
Okay, so spores were not a thing in the first season. They like I
Okay.
can't remember there being spores in the first season, and certainly the guys in Seattle were unaware of spores. You know, so another thing that I kind of was interesting is we finally found out the backstory of Dina. It turns out that
Mm,
Dina was living in New Mexico, probably friends with Walter White and Jesse, but she
obviously.
had a traumatic lead-in. Though she was the reason she's so supportive of Ellie beyond their deep affection for each other is that Dina's family was killed by an outsider. And Dina had said, Ellie, I'd be doing the same thing that you would be doing, meaning chasing this guy to the end of the world if I hadn't already killed him. Did that seem like in character for Dina or out of character for Dina to you, Mo?
Oh, it's a side of Dina that we haven't got to see. You know, Dina's the one taking charge. She's the smart one. She is in the lead and she is level-headed. But
Triangulation.
she triangulation. But to see her actually relate to Ellie and to fully understand and not just go along with her because
Yes.
she likes her, it was great to finally see that connection as to why she is truly traveling with her because we don't find that out in the game at all.
Yeah, that that's maybe why like that finally that Ellie seemed to have a deep connection with Dina. Dina seemed to have a personal sympathy for Ellie's plight. That's when it kind of felt like the relationship really took off. Because, I was like, I've kind of always thought that Dina likes whoever's in front of her at that very second, but that Dina and Ellie share something so primal. I'm like, okay, now I believe it. They're in love, and
Hmm.
Dina definitely means it. So one of the things that we've seen throughout this whole thing is that Ellie's kind of a dick, and, and maybe isn't like the best soldier. There wasn't enough monster action in the last episode. This
Hmm.
has had some serious monster action with the stalkers in the warehouse, and my God, they are so much smarter than they seemed the first time we saw of them. What did you think of those stalkers, Mo?
I was not expecting them there to be like, I don't know, over a dozen, it seemed
Yeah.
like. But I also just passed this part in the game where you first come across the stalker and he's playing with you, but then you lead into like a bigger office and you're slowly having to take them down one by one. And it is
Whoa.
terrifying. I cannot wait for you to get into that part of the game. But it all made sense. The thing about that part of the episode that worked for me too was the savior at the end of it.
Man, what an intense scene, because it went so quickly from like, all right, we're gonna sneak through this building, and Ellie always being sort of so glib about things like, oh, this will be fine, I'm immune, not immune to getting torn to bits. And when I saw
Mm.
the half corpse on the ground, I thought, oh shit, stalkers, yeah, and then a bloater is gonna come up out of nowhere,
Oh,
and
totally,
because
totally.
it's like, I'm all, wait a minute, it's ripped in half. There's only one thing in the game that can rip you in half that way. So how quickly that scene transitioned from like, all right, we're gonna sneak through. Oh, things are going pear-shaped. Okay, we might have a problem. Okay, one of us has to live. Dina's in the cage, out of bullets. Ellie's getting her ass kicked, and who should it be? Captain Wyoming. Jesse coming in at the last second. And that scene when he reaches out to her,
Hmm.
that is exactly how Joel reached out to Abby, as
Yes.
we saw a couple episodes ago. And Ellie never had that experience that I can recall where Joel reaches out that way, where it's kind of just a hand out of nowhere.
Hmm.
But Abby did. Abby got saved by Joel in the same way that Ellie and Dina got saved by Captain Wyoming, and Captain Wyoming just showing up out of nowhere. And I just love how they get their butts saved. Ellie immediately starts trying to pick a fight with Jesse, and Jesse's like, "Do I look like I want to fucking talk?" Like it didn't like it just was like how Ellie is so self-centered. Okay, we're saved. You know what, Jesse? You're kind of a dick. Where have you been this whole time? And he's like, "Well, you shut the fuck up." They literally seconds before on screen were running, and then Ellie is just up Jesse's ass for saving her life. Because I was like, we had it. No, you fucking did not. It
Yeah.
just like how Jesse he was just so on the spot, which then led to, God, a scene we saw so early in the game of the brutality of the Seraphites. Dude, the way that evil Abraham Lincoln gloried in gutting that man, slowly pulling him up, that everyone in the Scar strike team had no problem with the brutality visited on that guy.
Hmm.
It was chilling, and it was in that moment that I think we saw the first real breakthrough of Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie. Because when she's good as Ellie, it's her reacting to horror or with violence or with sadness, and just Dina covering her face, and Jesse being shocked, and Ellie just, the terror on her face felt like my terror just watching the show. God, it was such a crazy, crazy moment.
They had shown the scars just being kind of helpless, more victims than anything else from the wolves. But this is
Totally.
an episode where we really got to see the war between both of them, even to the point
Yes.
where after they escape the stalkers out of that warehouse, they're running through wolf territory
Yeah.
and they're escaping them, but they escape them through the forest. They overhear, we're not going into the forest
Yeah.
because that's Scar territory. And you see exactly what happens when a wolf gets into Scar territory with that
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sickle from sternum to taint. It was just a straight up slice. And it was just him holding his sickle there while they strung him up by his neck and let him hang.
when with the thing with the execution of the wolf by the Seraphites, you know, Dina's shot. Jesse just pulled their fat out of the fire,
Mhm.
and then Ellie sees the hospital, and Ellie's like, "And they'll be fine." like just like like Ellie just giant dick all the time, giant dick. The very end of the episode, entering into the phlegmatic pneumonia infected lung that was basement 2 of the hospital. Oh my God.
Mm.
What a great moment. There is not a single thing in the show so far, like a location that has had more buildup than the basement. And I, it has been a while since I played the game, but man, Mo, I feel like that was beat for beat what we played in the game that they showed in the HBO show. I know you're doing it right now. What's your take on it?
It is beat for beat.
Whoa.
It was identical beat for beat. Even what they say, even when she catches Nora, and she even tells Ellie that she doesn't regret that Joel died. He deserved it.
Yeah.
And then them leading on to the chase of them falling into the basement. Even the words that she says while she's cornering her, she's still not going to give up Abby at
Yeah.
all.
Right.
And then that's when you start to see the change. And the red lighting in that even is pulled from the game, but it makes Bella so much more intense. You
Yeah.
can tell that she's filled with rage.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a glimpse of that at the beginning of the episode when she finds the guitar at the theater.
Yeah.
She starts to play those first few notes and starts to sing that first line of, is it Future Days? I think it is.
Yeah. Future days.
And then boom, triggered, red. I remember my purpose. I can't be on my honeymoon anymore. I'm here to kill Nora and then move to Abby.
You know what Bella Ramsey very much who she looked like to me in that moment as she's walking into the to that first room, and I really do think of that room where we saw the people who were giving birth to the spores and sort of living incubators. Man, oh man, did she not seem like Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley? Just
Oh,
the
dang.
lighting, the high forehead, we're walking into a fleshy hell of body horror, suffering, and danger. That was a moment where I finally felt that Bella Ramsey could carry the show. Because for the
Agreed.
first couple episodes, man, I mean, Isabella Merced, how broad is that woman's shoulders? Because she's carrying this whole damn thing. Like Bella had never really had enough moments where it seemed like she could carry it forward, but moving into that she's in this and she's surrounded by all this just misery and grotesqueries and still manages to then torture a woman to death.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. That's why for me at least, the monster of the week, it's Ellie. Ellie's the monster of the week. That she, in a cold and calculated fashion, moved past all of those people through that terribly infected room and still beat a dying woman to death.
Mm,
Holy shit.
mm.
That is such a huge lift. But there were so many great monster moments in it. I thought the like as you said in previous episodes, Mo, like the real monsters in this world are the humans, but there are monsters too. So what was your favorite monster moment?
It's hard to say. There's three different monsters. You have the stalkers,
Yeah.
who are terrifying.
Oh,
You have the factions, but mainly scars because you really get to
mm,
see them in this one. And of course, you get to see Ellie as the monster that we have been waiting to see this whole time. I'm
yes.
curious, how do you feel about them taking 5 episodes to actually give us the Ellie that we know and love hate?
Oh, so you know what? I will say that if my constant complaint, my nag about the show is sometimes some of the big emotional lifts feel unearned. At least the beginning of the descent into madness as it becomes actualized, it feels fucking earned. This
Mm-hmm.
feels like we have spent 5 episodes with the woman who now has something in common with evil Abraham, the leader of the Scars, who now has something in common with maybe evil Isaac, the leader of the Wolves, who might have something in common with the old Joel in that she reveled in causing physical misery to another human being.
Hmm.
She tortured with a capital T, a dying woman, the way that evil Abraham Lincoln tortured, like almost sensuously drawing the side down that man, like popping his buttons. I'm like, oh, daddy, where are you
Oh
going with
my
this?
God. Tell me why I was like, dang, if this were me, I think I'd be more aroused and they would be wondering,
I
where is
mean,
this water coming from?
my God, we knew the Pacific Northwest was moist, but if there was a
Well,
word of the episode, Mo, what is it?
triangulation to the fullest degree. And I don't think people realize how big triangulation made a difference or made that big of an impact in this episode. Yes, Dina is triangulating where everybody's at through at least the wolves, but there's also that little love triangle that Dina, Jesse, and Ellie are all going through. We all know Ellie and Jesse, besties. Dina and Jesse, that's his kid. They used to bang, they used to be together. And Dina and Ellie, kind of together now. But Jesse doesn't know yet, does he? Or
Uh,
did they
I
leave
you,
remnants in the theater where he found everything? That's how he found them. And maybe they left something there, or maybe she left all five of those pregnancy tests out there. Maybe that's why he's a little irritated. Just saying.
Jesse walks into theater and he's like, in the year 2003, someone really thought they were knocked up because there's no way this could have anything to do with Dina. You know, Captain Wyoming. This is, I don't know. These are strange things in the before times. First, I want to say, dude, I love that you put the triangulation thing together with the love triangle because that I did not put that two and two together. That's so fucking it. I mean, when it's one of those things you look back at it like triangulation, 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 and they say it so many times, and I'm like, they're making a funny joke, and they're like, oh no shit, no really, they're literally doing that, and you
Yeah.
know, and that again, I just got to say Captain Wyoming that he was able to do all the stuff that Dina did so quickly to come in and save them. Like they have such great allies in this thing. And Tommy's running around there. That Tommy and Jesse with a day behind managed to locate them just in time to save the bacon. I mean, these are like some really really just it's just rad to see them have like a team that Ellie's going to betray. That's those moments, these things setting up the eventual betrayal that Ellie visits upon everybody, seeing
Mhm.
how good Jesse is, seeing how smart Dina is, seeing how much they love each other. I had kind of thought for a second, and this is no bullshit, Mo. I was starting to lose interest in the show. Like I'm like,
Sames, dude. I was like, what
exactly.
are they doing? Phoning this in? What's happening? It
Oh
worried
God.
me for a minute there.
Oh God. Particularly, I mean, like I said, you and I just have different opinions about the last one. I'm just like, oh, this episode feels so back on track for me. I just loved it. I have some wild ideas I want to share with you.
Okay.
With one of them being the real Rat King. So what do we know about the television version of the Cordyceps? How is it most different from the Cordyceps in the game?
They react to light.
They react to light and they're networked. the
Yes.
the infected know where the infected is. And we saw the stalkers being able to communicate in a way that we've never seen the infected communicate. I would say that they operated through no words that we could understand, but they certainly operated with at least a level of intelligence of chimpanzees. And chimpanzees are really smart. They're
Hmm.
really fucking smart. And they don't have a language the way that you and I have a language. Human beings have a language, but they can definitely communicate ideas. And we saw the stalker head fake Ellie give a little like nod to the guy off screen,
Yeah.
and then at the very last second, because Ellie's so proficient, shot that one that was getting ready to jump on her. They surrounded her and came in with a coordinated attack. They are smarter than we might think. They can communicate not only through grunts and pops and clicks, but maybe even through the idea of like pheromones or spores, chemical communication, the way that some myconids can do. And so, how do you like this? What if the real Rat King is Ellie herself? I wonder if the infected are aware of her in the way they would be aware of any infected, because she's as infected as any of the infected we've seen in the show. She's infected as a bloater, she's infected as a stalker, she's infected as a runner. She has the cordyceps in her brain, and for some reason it stopped growing. I wonder if it's possible they always kind of know where she is. If she is a great disturbance in their force, because why would it logically makes sense if the cordyceps is networked in that way, would they also not be able to know where Ellie is? That was just a wild idea that I had, because I'm all, oh shit, with this show willing to introduce new great and novel ideas, how much would that ratchet up the danger if the infected always knew where she was?
I don't know. I feel like that's a stretch.
Okay, I didn't say
I
it's a
only
wild idea. I didn't say it was a good idea.
it is a fascinating theory, and it is a
Yeah.
fascinating, I guess, conspiracy theory, if you will. But
Uh-huh.
they still want to attack her. I don't think that they care who she is. I think they
Mm,
are just looking for a host. She may be bit, but it's not growing within her. So it can't communicate with the rest of them. That's why
right.
she's still kind of a living being, organism of sorts.
But I kind of wonder if the infected can smell her, if that makes sense. Cordyceps is a fungus, and fungus in IRLs communicate. It's thought to they communicate via chemical receptors. Like
Mhm.
they use that as words. And I was thinking, like, wait a minute, have we ever seen Ellie successfully sneak up on any one of these smart things? Absolutely, she has not.
Because they're one step ahead of you all the time. I mean, even the plan that Ellie was talking about on how they were going to flank them, they
Mhm.
basically took that plan and did it to them.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. Now you got me thinking. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
my whole world's flipped upside down. I feel like Fresh Prince. Ah.
Another wild idea I had was for people who have not played the game, the Rat King is a boss fight you fight in the hospital while playing as Abby, and it's one of the most intense fights. It really presses the characters' the player's abilities, because you basically fight everything all at once, and it's very, very dangerous. It's sort of like, yo, if you can do this, you've had your Elden Ring moment in The Last of Us. So, but with Ellie already being there, why do you think that the Rat King fight will be Ellie, or will it be Abby? Because in the game it was Abby, but now we've already got Ellie in the place where it happens.
Okay, I don't think they're done with the basement. I think the
No.
basement is going to come back again down the road, obviously, because in the game, Abby messes with the Rat King. I don't think Ellie's going to beat up the Rat King. I don't think it's going to switch. I think they will still lead up to it, but I'm not feeling optimistic about seeing the Rat King this season now. A
Hmm.
lot is changing
Yeah.
from when we first started making our predictions on what we think we're going to see. It's panning out very differently than I thought it was going to be.
Mm.
But I'm also glad because I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be moving way faster, and I'm just happy it's not. The only thing that really irritates me though, we still haven't got that Eugene episode I've been waiting for.
Before I get to my prediction about Eugene, can I give you an actually moment? Because I got a good one.
Oh, yes, give me a Fitzsplanation.
Okay, so actually, you're out of regs, Mr. Park. So when we go to the basement and we see the first guy looked like he was dressed in surgical scrubs, the one who was on the wall.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
the second one was a soldier, right? And he had a name tape on his chest that said L Park. Presumably, that would be the Leon Park that the mom sent down there, right?
yes, exactly.
Okay. Actually, his name tape was on the opposite side of every other wolf soldier. Yeah, his name tape was flipped, and I'm like, Mr. Park, you're out of regs.
My gotcha. Jesus Christ. These are the little things you worry.
No, it's not the
Um,
little things not the little things I worry about. It was just something that I noticed, and I could tell you, seeing that, having that confirmation that the cordyceps can, like, because all dialogue exists for a reason. Like Park the mom said, yeah, the old timers said it was in 2003 that we got to see a doctor embedded in there. How long have those guys been fucking down there acting as these sickened fleshy incubators? Are they aware of their predicament? Are they tortured, or are they like it was such a great body horror moment, that whole basement. If they don't go back like 9 more times, like, why bring us this great environment if you don't fully exploit it? So yeah, Mr. Park, you're out of regs.
Real quick, I want to
Yeah.
know there's one big disappointing thing that I think you definitely have in here, but we have to talk about it because I was also terrified that this moment was going to happen and it didn't. And it was the dog smelling Ellie. In the game, Ellie starts attacking dogs because they're coming to get her. I get it, she's self-defense or whatever, but it's hurtful. And I thought
Oh,
this poor dog was going to go down, but everything worked out.
so yeah, I mean, first justice for Shimmer. She's been stuck in a record store that hasn't been restocked since 2013 or 2003, depending on what timeline you're to pick. I mean, 2003, what is that? Not a great time in music. 2013, not looking much better. They left a wreck, that poor horse in there. And you're right, Mo. One of the things that Ellie does a lot in the game is she kills a lot of dogs. If you just kill a dog, the handler will walk over and sit next to it and cry. And
Yes, it
and
is
then
so sad. Oh,
yeah, and then Ellie will walk up and kill them because she's a fucking bitch. It's like it's terrible. She'll kill their dog. Oh, I'm gonna kill your dog, and then I'm gonna kill you while you're crying over its body because I'm upset.
but you know, it's the same for the dogs too. If you kill their handler, the dog starts whimpering and only wants to hang out with that dead body of their handler.
What the fuck?
You never known that? I always kill the handler first and then the dog because the dog's confused.
Oh my God. No, I never did that.
It is so heartbreaking, but you know that
Ooh.
there's a bond between them um, because it's their handler. So, oh, it's heartbreaking. Also, going back to Shimmer real quick, they
Yeah.
basically treated Shimmer like how people treat their dogs in the car. They have a little note that says, the air conditioning's on, don't break the window, listening to his favorite band, 311, he's fine. So
Oh my God.
Shimmer is enjoying his Blink 182s right now.
Dude,
Shimmer's
2003,
thriving.
if that record store was last stocked in 2003, Shimmer's in there stuck with like a Crazy Town album. If I say, dude, I felt that same terror when I saw the dog. I'm like, oh no, if they no, they're not.
I was
I seriously, I got verklempt. So let's talk about performance of the week, Mo. Who was your MVP?
Ellie. Finally, we get an episode that she can handle on her own. And I was getting real worried with
Yes, same.
Dina handling everything. I mean, even to the point where I'm like, this bitch is pregnant and she has bolt cutters and she's waiting for Ellie to come in. I'm like, what? I'm like, we're never going to see the Ellie that I want to see. And I was completely surprised on how that rage took over. The
Yeah.
rage was I don't know about the hero of the episode, but rage played a massive part in this one. And it's about damn time.
I mean, God, Bella Ramsey's performance, just like man, it just escalated so steeply in sort of the last half of the show. Was amazing for me. The If I had to pick a performance of the week, I would go with Bella Ramsey, of course. But if I had to pick another one that wasn't Bella Ramsey, I would go set design. The set design, yeah,
Oh, okay.
the set design and the menace and the threat, the hallway with Nora, the B2. Did you notice just how the curdled chunks just floating in the air? This like effluvium of infection. How the air just seemed thick. It was almost like she was moving through a liquid, which it would be. Think of someone just coughing, heavy, gasping, like with pneumonia. How the set design and the photography captured that she was going into an area that was just completely inimical to human life, setting up Bella to give that stone cold killer performance with Nora. Like, I guess I am. Did I? Did I kill us? Did like? And then Nora realized, holy shit. everything went into that moment of setting up Bella for just that vicious moment with Nora. It was remarkable.
I
Another
think
actually is
with that moment with Nora, we finally find out something that most of the people in the series don't realize. I think a lot of people at this point, we already know that Ellie knows what Joel did,
yeah.
but I don't think people that have been watching the series know that Ellie knows what Joel did. And for her to
Correct.
finally answer that, man, I think that's where we're going to get into the next episode. I mean, yeah, we have the space and oh my gosh, the dinosaur museum, but I think we might get into her finding out exactly what happened and how that all came together.
I think that the next episode is not only are we going to get to go to the museum, we're having a flashback episode, which will be rewarding. I think in this episode, we'll get to hear the story of Eugene. We'll get to see the story of Eugene. And I bet another dollar, which I'll put on your account. I bet that it is Eugene that spills the beans to Ellie because there's no way for what we've seen on screen, from what we've seen on screen, that Ellie would know what Joel did. Joel, when he was telling Gail, he didn't say that he told Ellie. I mean,
But Gail didn't know what he did either. That's why she's
right,
like, "What
exactly.
did you do?"
I think somehow Eugene is going to be the one who drops the dime to Ellie, because got to have the Eugene story. Got to know why Joel killed this guy, and everyone knows he killed this guy for good reasons. But having Joe Pantoliano is a one-off character, it's going to be a guy who's going to do a lot of heavy lift dramatically. He seems like the perfect actor to do that kind of stuff. I think in the next episode, not only will we get the museum scene, which is the best father-daughter day at the museum in the apocalypse, I think we'll hear the Eugene story. And my prediction is that Eugene will be the route that Ellie learns the thing that Joel did in killing the doctor and Abby's dad.
I am more than happy to take that dollar from you because
Okay.
I don't think Eugene is going to tell Ellie. I mean, if that's the reason why Joel killed him, it's a dumb reason because then everybody would know. And for Gail to say, I understand why you did it, but I don't agree with it, it has to be because Eugene had turned. That's what I think. But I don't think we're going to see Eugene until the last episode now. I think that we are going to just get those like father daughter flashbacks.
Sure.
And I think we are going to have to head back to the theater because
Mm.
she's going to have to meet up with Dina and Jesse here soon for, oh God, and maybe Shimmer. Oh God, Shimmer. Please get her out.
Yeah, just for Shimmer. Can you imagine what that would be like? Dina's there, Jesse's there. Oh my God, we were so worried. What were we doing? Murdering. You guys made it. I knew you would. I mean, just like fucking bitch. Uh, I think that okay, so we'll see. Dollars on the line. I think we're going to see Eugene spill the beans next episode. You don't think he will. This is what happens. Something bites Eugene. Eugene says to Joel, Joel, there could have been a cure. Now I'm going to fucking die. Joel, what's he talking about? Oh, he never told
uh,
you? He never fucking told you what he did in the hot. And think about it. In a Joey Pantalon, I can't say his name right now. In a Joey Pants way. Oh, he never told you what he fucking did you? Well, let me tell you what he did. But like a stony version of it. I mean, dude, it fucking tracks. It fucking tracks.
do you think that Joel would unveil that information to Eugene? I think he would unveil it to Tommy, but I don't think he would just tell any. If he's not going to tell Ellie, why would he just start telling random people?
I don't think it's a random person. I think that there must be some there has to be a reason that Joel would know Eugene, Eugene would know Joel.
Mhm.
Maybe Eugene's the one who put the tattoo on Ellie's arm. I mean, oh, you see what I'm saying? Like
Oh
there could be a
yeah.
reason like as to why this happens. So what was the line of the week for you, Mo?
Ellie is looking into the warehouse with the door slightly ajar, and Dina asks, "How does it look?" Ellie says, "Haunted but empty." Dina goes, "Huh, just like us."
That
That
worked.
to
That was
me felt so perfect. It
yeah.
encapsulated everything about their souls right now.
For me, the line of the week came early on in the episode, and it was not even rats. I'm like, do you think we just might not see Abby until next season? You think we're just not going to see the? Have you done the perspective flip to Abby in the gameplay yet?
So yeah, I just started the perspective of Abby right now, but I think we are going to see her right at the end. I think it's
Mm,
going to be Abby finding them at the theater.
yeah.
And that's where, oh gosh, I hate spoiling this, but that's where we no longer have Jesse
Mm.
because he just bolts out. But Tommy's also there too in the game. So I'm not sure how this is gonna pan out. Maybe they don't kill Jesse.
One of the things the TV show does is that, like there was 87 people in the strike team to Jackson, then there's like six, right?
Mhm.
Dina got injured in the way that Tommy got injured, an injury to the leg, because Tommy also got injured in the leg. And so maybe they're going to economize the storytelling a little bit, where maybe Tommy won't have it might look different. I mean, but as the basement is a big setting, I think that the theater is, oh boy, that's the showcase showdown for the first half of the game is Ellie and
Mhm.
Abby in the theater.
Dang. You know what? You're actually right because the way that Tommy's supposed to be there, Dina is there the whole way.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's a question mark for what Tommy's gonna is how the Tommy thing's gonna shake out. And now that Ellie has been secretly communicating with the cordyceps the whole time because she's the alpha infected,
gotcha. Jesus.
they're all gonna come to the theater. Ellie, we're here to save you. Meet my new friends. Nom 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 nom
Oh
nom nom.
gosh, I hope they bust out into a musical if they're at the theater. That would be
Like,
so great. A cordyceps musical? I would watch that.
oh, Hamilton, who? What the fuck, dude? For
The
real?
Rat King, just like with a finale, like an opera esque type deal. I would watch The Last of Us the musical. How great would that
Hello,
be?
my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my cordyceps gal. Oh my God. We have to do it. We have to
Oh,
do it.
please do a spin-off. Be like Stranger Things and just start doing the like theater versions of all of this. It would be great. Let's
Yeah,
get into our ratings of this now.
let's do it.
It's been a while since we agreed, but I think we're in agreement that this is an 8 out of 10 episode. This is really good.
Yeah.
That set it up great. I'm so glad we finally got to see the Ellie that we got to see. We got to
Yes.
see more evolution of the cordyceps.
I'm with you. I'm going to give this one 8 out of 10 clickers as well. Like the pacing was back on point. Great monster moments. Body horror, and I'm not a fan of body horror, but just the question of the suffering of the infected individuals in B2 just my God, it made my skin crawl. And Bella Ramsey finally at last seeming like the credible killer that we need Ellie to be. Her just flat, doll-eyed, shark-like aspect torturing Nora. I'm like, holy shit, this woman will stop at nothing and not in a good way. It made the plot line seem plausible to me. I thought it was 8 out of 10. Great episode.
Yeah, she turned it on. I'm going to change my rating. It's 8.5 out of 10 now because totally forgot. We got to see Pedro at the end. She had a little flashback.
Mm.
And as soon as he walked in the door and said, "Hey, kiddo," again, crying in Spanish, but also that same feeling that I felt when I saw that scar just slowly ripping off those buttons with the sickle. I was like, oh God, what? Okay. So, needless to say, I have to watch Pals tonight.
So, on the subject of cleaning up, no, I got this. I got this. On the subject of cleaning up, let's clean up this episode with the gold in them there hills. It's now time for Mo puns. Mo, pun us away.
Oh gosh, I have a pun for the wolves. I think they would enjoy this. Atheism is a nonprofit organization.
All right. All right. Okay. I'm in.
Okay, we'll start slow.
Yep.
Here's one for the theater scene. I did a theatrical performance on puns. It was a play on words. Okay, not my best one. I'm not gonna lie. One for the basement. I got one for every scene.
Hell yeah.
The soldier who survived mustard gas and pepper spray was a seasoned veteran.
Hey, that's what we're looking
Hey,
for, baby. That's the one
We
we were looking for.
we did it.
Well done. All right, so that wraps up Fitz and Friends, the Fitz and Mo bonus show. New episodes every Monday. Please do like and review this show on Spotify and YouTube, and you can follow us on socials. Mo, what's your socials?
At MORO Radio or Moro Radio. All one word.
And you can check me out on Instagram as Fitz Madrid or on Facebook because why can't I quit you, Meta?
Oh
It's Fitz
God.
Radio. Oh my God, dude. That said, oh please like my Facebook fan page. It's Fitz Radio on Facebook and Fitz Madrid on social media. Please please share your comments in the thoughts in the comments below. Your takes, mild and spicy, are important because man, talking about this show, and we'll have new episodes for you every Monday. We want to know what you guys are thinking about as well, because, we love it, but you're an important part of this community as well. There will be a new episode of Fitz and Friends, the Fitz and Mo bonus show, in your feed for next Monday. If you've liked and subscribed on the YouTubes and the Spotify, thank you for listening, and have a what the fuck is wrong with Seattle week. Mo, thank you. You're always a charmer.
Thank you, Fitz. You as well. You and your Fitzisms. Okay. Say goodbye, Fitz.